Hey everybody, so today we are going to make poultry spam, but in today's case we're making chicken, but you can also do this with turkey. So I have 5 pounds of chopped up chicken here. Now what I'm going to do is you would normally put this through a grinder, a meat grinder, but I'm thinking a lot of people may not have a meat grinder. So we're going to use the food processor and see what we can get texture wise with that. Or you could use your knife like a cleaver and just chop it up to make minced chicken. But we're going to try the food processor, and you can reserve some of your chopped up chicken and I will show you the size of that after I put on my gloves. If you've wondered where I've been, my hands got messed up. I got a burn. And then over here I had my arm out like that on the bed. I was sitting on the bed and my dog tried to jump through there to get on the bed, and she's big and didn't fit through my arm, and she was falling back. Well, she landed on her back legs. She's tall. And she grabbed my hand with her paw and scratched my whole hand. Just, you can see some of the, I don't know if you can see them in the camera, but I had cuts all down my hand. So I didn't figure you guys would want to be looking at that in videos, but I'm pretty much healed up. I'm going to put on some gloves. Oh, and 1 second, I need to get my salt and my sugar and my starch. You can use cornstarch or potato starch. We have some curing salt. We're going to use regular salt, ice water, and sugar. So let me get that stuff. Okay, so here is our stuff right here. We have 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of salt, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. So there's my sugar, there's my salt, there's my cornstarch, and 1 teaspoon of curing salt. Now read the directions on yours and make sure you use the correct amount of that. I've seen some recipes where people for 6 pounds of meat use 3 tablespoons. Every one I've read says 1 teaspoon per 5 pounds of meat. So 6 pounds of meat and 3 tablespoons of curing salt is too much. So we have that mixture, and we have some ice water, and we'll need 1 cup of that. So we're going to add meat, and I have a mixture of white meat and dark meat, mostly white because that's what I had. And you can reserve some of these pieces, and I'll show you how I chopped them up. Little pieces like that. You can cut them as big as you want, and you can reserve some of that to add to your ground mixture, so you have chunks in there. So I'm going to pulse this until it is ground, and I'm going to do that off camera so you don't have to hear it, and then I'll show you the texture that I have. Okay, this is the grind that I made. Can you see that? It's not a paste. You don't want a paste. Just grind it up like, you know, you'd have ground chicken. And if you have ground chicken, that's great. And little pieces like that'll be fine. So that's the grind that I've done. Just pulse it. Let it run for a minute and check it. So I'm going to do that until I have all 5 pounds of this done. And then we're going to put it in a bowl. Okay, so we have our chicken all ground up. I'm going to measure out 1 cup of ice water. And did I mention do not trim the fat off your chicken? There's not that much fat. And you're going to need that so it won't be dry. I mean, unless you're using all dark meat and it's really fatty. Get that ice cube out of there. Okay, 1 cup of ice water. All of our stuff here. Going to mix that up. Going to pour that into our ground chicken. I'm going to put on one of these weird gloves. We are going to mix this in. And then we're going to pack it into excuse me, it's been windy. It's making asthma allergy things bad. Okay. So we have our clean pint jars. I have 3 quarts of water in my canner. We're just gonna mix this all in. You want to mix it well. Ooh, this is cold. These gloves are much harder to work with. And we want to keep one hand not grimy so we can hold our jars. And then when I get all this in the canner, I'm going to re-bleach everything. Bleached before, and I'm going to bleach after. Squish that through, because remember, we're making spam, so to speak, but with chicken. And like I said, you can do this with turkey. Sure, I'm getting everything from the bottom. And I my gloves sliding off. I'm going to get a spatula. Okay, so I have my funnel. I'm going to get a jar. Trying to use my elbow, so what, Mitzi Cool? And we are just going to start filling this jar. You want to make sure it's packed, like your meatloaf or your ground beef. So I got this spatula. Mitzi, what you doing? Look for any air pockets. Try and get them out. Can you guys hear my neighbor's music? I hope not. My fingers are coming out of the finger holes. Fill it up to 1 inch of headspace. I'm going to use vinegar to clean our rims. Now this will vacuum down inside like your hamburger does while it's cooking. So there's our poultry spam. And that's the top. And we're just gonna continue on here. I got this thing to help smush it down. That first batch you put in there, you can smush it down at the bottom to avoid some air pockets. And in the next video, I will open a can of this and we will see how it came out with the food processor technique. I think it's going to be fine. Might even be mo better. To really clean my rims well. because you're not going to want any grease on the rims of your jars. So I'm going to keep filling these up and I'll come back when we're cleaning them up. Okay, we have vinegar, and I'm going to first wipe them off with the dry paper towel. Get any of that chicken off of there. Truckers are in Maryland, if y'all were wondering about that. Okay, so now vinegar, and wipe these off really well. Ooh, strong smell of vinegar. Get a fresh one. Really make sure there's no grease, no chicken bits. Just want to make sure these all seal. And out of 5 pounds, I have 6 pints here. And you want to do these in wide mouth pints. Much easier. Oh, Mitzi, what do you want about? If you've never seen a dog in comedian form, she would be one. She doesn't really know how to dog. She's learning from the other dogs, but she's learning like from neighborhood noise. So the bad habits. Like, oh, a fire truck, I bark. No, we don't do that. She hears the distant howls. Okay. Vinegar is also a disinfectant, so if you don't have bleach, you can always wipe down your kitchen with vinegar. It'll just smell vinegary for a little while. Okay, let's get our lids. Okay. Fingertip tight. It's a really thick lid right there. It's my Lehman's. Needed one more ring. Okay. Okay, we're going to match RVs. Fire truck. Match your V on the lid to the V on your handle. Lock it. Turn on your heat. Everything is cold in here. Cold jars, cold water, cold canner, because these chicken jars are cold. If you're doing hot, then you want hot jars, hot water, hot canner. So we are going to process this for 75 minutes. This will pop up. Steam will start coming out of here after it has vented steam for 10 minutes. You will put on your weight that I set down somewhere. Put your weight on. You'll put your weight on. When it comes to a soft jiggle, you will set your timer for 75 minutes. Keep your eye on it. If you need to turn down the heat, you can do that to keep a soft wiggle, and as you can, you'll find the sweet spot on your stove. Mine is almost at a medium low for that. So I'm going to let this go, and I will see you when it's coming out, and I'm going to clean up all this chicken stuff. Alrighty guys, we are going to get our poultry spam out. I had to make dinner. Always take the lid off away from your face. Don't want to get burned. Smells good. Smells like chicken. I hope that was recording. It just shut itself off. So I plugged you in. I think my camera needs a new battery. My husband's waiting on a battery. Those are the beeps you heard, the front door. So here we go, you guys. See how we can do this plugged in. There it is. There is our chicken spam. And in a few days, or when I open one, I'm going to wash my jars and everything, we will open one, cook it up, and see what we have. So anyways, truckers are in Maryland, I believe, for the night. They haven't given their schedule for those that were angry about them not being in DC for the State of the Union. That was because Potato Joe changed his schedule. So anyways, there's our spam. So you all stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you all in the next video. If you have any questions, let me know down below, and I will help you out with anything you need. I will see you soon.